So, in the last section of our course, we will continue to shape the surroundings of the 3D model based on the 2D plan. Let's copy and paste 3D import command. This time, we will work with boundaries and exterior building layers. Let's connect the geometry parameter to the output while changing the list item input. Let's connect wrap command to see the geometries as surfaces. Now we can extrude them on the z-axis with a scale factor of 6. We can use custom preview to differentiate the main building with the surrounding ones. Then we can work on modeling the ground. Here we can change the input number to get the related layer. In this model, we have two closed polylines. One is the entrance of the main building, the other is the boundary of the enclosed area. We can use list item again to access each polyline. So let's connect them to wraps. If we use the solid difference command, we can take out the separate surfaces because the exterior boundary is including the smaller pathway. So we are seeing the difference better. What I want to do is to create a sloping surface for the land. For that, I can debrave the surface and move its vertices on the z-axis. I only want to play with the exterior corners to keep the internal road as a flattened surface. So, to use list item, I first want to see the numbers assigned to the points. Let's use point list command and increase the text size to 5. Now we can use list item command and create a range of numbers between 0 to 3 by using series command. Our start number will be 0 and we need to keep the count number to 4. Now we can delete point list because we no longer need that. Let's type move now. So I want to construct a domain to move each point on different level. Let's create a number slider, then click to edit. We can change the start point to -2. Now our domain n can be a positive number. Let's use random command now. Connect the domains as inputs. Then we need 4 different numbers because we work on leveling of 4 different numbers. For the seeds, we can type 50 and then change it as we want. If we connect the panel to the output, we can see the change in the result. Now we can take Z unit to connect it to the move command. Then we need the vertices on the smaller surface we have. For that, we can use the wrap command again. Let's now use point parameter to keep these different points in there. Now we will use dealign mesh command to create a surface based on these points. We can right-click on the input to flatten. So I want to separate the surfaces at the beginning because I want to give each of the surfaces a different color to highlight the entranceway of the main building. Since working with surfaces is easy, I will convert the mesh into a polysurface. For that, let's bring face boundaries command. Then we need to connect boundary surfaces command and it will create a polysurface. Then I can extrude the surface of the smaller rod to use as cutter. And we can see that the polysurface we created can be joined. Let's use wrap join command. After this, we are ready to separate the roadway from the boundary landscape. Let's use split wrap multiple command. Then we can use list item to take the cutout. We can now preview off the unrelated script, and we can use custom preview to color our landscape. The next step is to locate some trees into this project. So as a base, I need to take the geometry to put some trees on. Then from our base plan, I'm taking layers related to trees. As this layer is on the C-plane, and our surface is sloping on the Z-axis, we need to project those lines onto our polysurface. Let's use project command. Here we can see the result now. Now what we need to do is to get the center points of these projected circles. For that we can patch the geometries. Let's say we want to differentiate the type of the trees based on their sizes. We can use this patch command to select the curves by their areas. We can bring area command for the patched surfaces. Then we need to right-click to flatten. We can check the variation of the areas. Now we need to use larger than command. Our first input will be the entire list of areas. The second input will be a number that we can separate the list by area, like 20. After we link the related inputs, we can preview everything off and bring geometry parameters only. In this case, we need to flatten the list input of this batch command as well. We can see now how we divided the list already. We can rename the geometries so that we don't mix them up. Now we can copy the area command for each of the geometries. After that, we can take import 3DM command. Then we can also bring move to point command. For moving the model from its origin to the 3D model we work on, our base point will be C-plane because our model will be imported there. So let's right-click on the import command and select a tree model saved as Rhino file. Here I already have one saved on my laptop, so I will use that one. After that, I can use center points of geometry we named as tree1 to multiply the imported tree model. Now it can look better if we rescale the tree for our project. Let's right-click on Flatten, then take the center points that we just applied. We can again use construct domain parameter to create a variation in scale factor for each tree. We can create a range between 1.1 to 3.4, then we can change them later. Let's use random command again. As we want to give different scale factor to each tree model, we need to use the number of the trees as an input factor. Let's type this length for that. Then we can use a number to define the seed input. We are observing that the scale is a bit odd. So we can correct it by grafting the move input and undoing the flatten in scale input. Then we see better the result. We can alter the seed factor to change the scale of the trees. After that, we can also change the rotation of each tree. Let's use rotate command. We can use similar script to randomize the rotation degree. Let's just change the domain factors from 0 to 360. And convert the domain into radians. The base planes will be the center points we brought from before. Now we can give colors to the trunk and the leaves of the tree model. For that, in the base model, I divided layers as trunk and leaves. By writing trunk to a panel, I can bring the trunk part of the trees only. Same way, we can use custom preview again. After arranging the color of the trunk, let's copy and paste the same script to define the leaves. Here, we just need to change the layer name in the panel. Then we can change the color of the leaves. For the second type of the tree model, I will apply the same script. I will right-click and change the 3D model previously saved as a Rhino file. The thing is that the unit of this model is different than the unit of the 3D model that I'm about to bring. For that reason, I will first rescale it accordingly. We can try to find the right scale factor for this, then change the domains accordingly. Then we need to match the same domain lengths for the leaves layer. We can still play with our script to have a better output. Finally, we can change the color of the trees again. This was it. Thanks for joining the course. Hope you liked it.